What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Avarice podcast. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you're well. Oh, rested. Not overworked. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you're barely keeping it together. I hope you're living on the edge of your abilities. Hope you're constantly pushing the limit to see what you're capable of. That's what I hope. Anyway, today I'm going to be doing another movie companion / commentary, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's not straight up commentary like where I have an extensive knowledge of the film and I'm telling you about how they did this and that. I'm basically just using it to have something to play off of. It's a constant stream of ideas shooting at me via the content of the film. I do have a confession to make, though. I already did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, I think, from 2006. And when I was watching that, I thought that it was the remake from 2003 with Jessica Biel. I kind of conflated or mixed up the two. I didn't even know that the one from 2006 existed. And I had remembered watching the one from 2003 that was the remake of the original. So that's what I thought I was getting into when I started to do that commentary. And I was surprised and then kind of shocked at how bad my memory was. And I just chalked it up to having not seen the movie in years and proceeded with the commentary. I didn't remember much of it. I was pretty confused. So then I'm scrolling through Netflix, I don't know, a few days ago, looking for something for my son to watch. And I see Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 new. And I was like, what the fuck? I thought this is what I just watched. So I go and look at the description and their little trailer shit they play. And I was like, motherfucker, I made an ass of myself. So now I kind of get why the 2006 movie was even made, because I think this did okay, and this is a straight up remake of the original. And it's got Jessica Biel. How can you argue with that? I was on a track of doing the Child's Play movies, the American Pie movies, The Wire, and I'm just getting a little bogged down in the repetitiveness of all of those. I'm deep into Child's Play. I'm almost done with American Pie, and of course The Wire. That's going to take me like a year, but I wanted to change it up. I thought about doing American Beauty. I thought about doing a couple different things, and then I remembered this was here, and I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to, I don't want to say redeem myself, because I may not do a better job, but at least set the record straight and let everybody know that when I did the other one, I thought it was this one. And I guess I haven't officially said it, but I'm going to be doing commentary on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake from 2003. So I usually start the podcast by making a cup of coffee. You may have heard that in the background at the beginning. It's now done, and I'm seated at my couch. I'm going to take a hit off my bong, and then I will give you a countdown to start the film. This is on Netflix, so if you want to watch it and mute it and listen to me alongside, feel free to do that. That's when I'll attempt to tell you when I'm starting the movie. Usually there's a little bit of buffering or some shit that goes wrong, and we're going to be a couple seconds off. But you'll be able to tell by what I'm referencing and the little bit of audio that you can hear in the background what part of the film I'm at. If you need to re-cue it, you can always do the pause for a couple seconds move. Pause me for a couple seconds, unpause, see if it lines up, or vice versa with the Netflix. Anyway, this is getting quite verbose. Oh, man. It's strange. I should be just chilling and relaxing right now, but I'm doing this. I won't say should, but that's how I feel. I've been go, go, go all day, and it feels like I should just kind of relax a little bit. But I need to get this content recorded, and I'm not that tired. I just have a lot on my mind. Got a lot of shit on my mind. got this feeling like someone's watching me. I don't think anybody's watching me. I know nobody's listening to me. See what I did there? You fucking get it. Okay, in order to keep it from auto-playing, I had to pause it. So let's see what we can do here. Alright, I am pressing play in 3, 2, 1, play. And I'm hoping that the film is silent right now and that I'm not having an issue with my stereo. Because that wouldn't have been no bueno. Earlier, my internet went down for a while and I was like, fuck. There goes all my ability to watch stuff. Like, I started thinking, like, am I going to be able to record a podcast? Like, obviously I can record it, but I'm not going to have any content. I need to get over myself and just learn how to do them without a movie to rely on. Part of it is that I feel odd sitting in a silent room and just talking, especially since I record these at night and everybody else is asleep in my house. So I guess the movie kind of acts like a white noise or a background noise to kind of disguise the fact that I'm recording a podcast. I don't know. It's a mental thing. I have trouble letting it out when I'm just in a silent room. I can do it while I'm driving. It's like I need another part of my brain to be distracted in order for me to get I'm not exactly sure why it is. So this is, I believe, pretty much a straightforward recreation of the original, which is based on a true story. I think. Don't tear me apart for that. But I believe that the first one was based on a true story. And I don't know how I never made this connection in the past. Maybe it's because I was never really into Leatherface and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. But Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses is basically just kind of like his take on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, isn't it? It's a family that lures people back to their house, tortures them, kills them, don't really eat them, but it's very closely aligned with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They have these weird rituals. And then you have this that comes out in 2003, and The Devil's Rejects comes out in 2004. And he strongly diverts from the original story in The Devil's Rejects. Like, they're very loosely related, that being The House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects. And I wonder if that was a response to this. Like, he's like, oh, fuck, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre comes out. I can't exactly do something as similar as I did before. This is all just speculation. I have no... Ooh, we're gonna get some Sweet Home Alabama, though. I can dig it, as long as I don't get a fucking copyright complaint. Oh, and there's Jessica Biel in all her glory. See, you can kind of see how I got confused. If you look at the cast of this and the cast of the beginning in 2006... they look on the surface very similar. You have Jessica Biel, you have her kind of sharp-featured boyfriend, and the other one you had Mia from Fast and the Furious and her military dude boyfriend. You had a blonde guy and his girlfriend. We have a fifth character in this, but it's so similar that I just got confused. And that was, in my review, that was my argument for why Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning from 2006, was just kind of derivative. It was just a copy of everything that had come before it in the franchise and in horror in general. And it didn't really break any new ground. We didn't need it at all. It was just like a version of this that was supposed to take place a few years prior. That's all it was. I don't remember this one being particularly good either, but we get to we get some Jessica Biel, and that should help alleviate the wounds. Sorry, I was trying to listen to what they were saying a little bit. Oh, they're going to a Skynyrd concert. That's right, it's like 73. Alabama, you live at home in a trailer. What the hell you gonna do? And the other commentary, I also could not recall Arlie Emery's name. I believe he's in this one too. Look at that fucking van. I like movies that take place in the 70s. I don't know if I glorify it or why, but the 70s seems like it was good times. But when I talk to people like my grandfather, he hated the fucking 70s. He liked the 60s. And like, weed's definitely illegal. There's no internet. There's no cable TV. There's very little to do. But that has its pros and cons. You just hung out and just kind of were in the world instead of transporting your mind across the country via a device in your hand. You had to be where you were with those people or alone. And you didn't have something in the back of your mind that was like, oh, I gotta check this, oh, I gotta do that. Well, you may have, but it was fucking like laundry and things like that. We did not go to Mexico to buy pot. He's lying his ass off. All this dialogue between them doesn't really mean a whole lot. They're in the car. They're gonna get taken. She's gonna escape. We basically know it's a remake. Oh, damn. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. There's a lady just walking down the middle of a dirt road. They almost fucking hit her. God damn, Jessica Biel's cute. And she doesn't, like, she's unique in her hotness. There's not a lot of really cute actresses that look the way she looks. She's a little bit thicker in the ass, which I dig. She's got a little bit, like, of a wider cheekbone, like... She doesn't have the classic movie star actress look, but it's unique and it's enticing. Look at that outfit. So simple, but so perfect. Just give her your hat so she doesn't get a sunburn and call it good. Hey, we're going to see Skynyrd, motherfucker. You're gonna pick up this lady? Who knows how long it's gonna take to unload this bitch? We better not be late to the fucking concert. I'll tell you what. You're gonna be sleeping with the dog in the kennel. You will. I'll leave you out here with the wolves. With the wolves. Out here with wolves. You. Raised by wolves. Oh, they're all dead? All them wolves are dead, or the wolves killed the chickens again? She seems crazy, and we don't know for a fact that she's talking about anybody. Like, a lot of things are dead. She could be talking about all the things that are supposed to be dead that are dead. She could be talking about soldiers from World War I, for Christ's sake. I guess in 1973 they wasn't dead yet. Uh-oh. Take this bitch's advice. Ask for an explanation, maybe. I need more information. Why don't you want to go there? She's all bloody between her thighs. Is it her... Could somebody get her some cranberry juice? I think it's her period. Oh, what the fuck? She just pulled a gun out of her pussy? Oh, god damn. See what happens? You see what happens, Larry, when you fuck people in the ass? This is why you don't pick up hitchhikers, folks. I guess she wasn't even hitchhiking. See, mind your business. She wasn't hitchhiking. She's just walking down the road. You had to fucking pull over and be do-gooders. And now you just witnessed a suicide in the back of your truck. You're never going to get over this. Congratulations. Go on and get it. That's what you wanted. This is what you wanted with your reckless ass. Go ahead. Wrangle her into the fucking car. Let's see what kind of interesting ideas this crazy bitch has to inform us on. Let's see exactly what kind of enlightenment we can get from this lady. See, people take the safety we experience in the modern age and they project it on all human history. Like, he said that was the first time that he'd ever seen anybody die, and the other guy said most people never do. A lot of people see people die. And if you go back in the past, just like 100 years, almost everybody saw somebody die. There's a cliche phrase they use in movies when a child dies, where they talk about how when you lose a spouse, there's a widow and a widower. There's a word for it. And there's no word for a person who loses a child because it's so unnatural for a child to die before their parent that there's not even a term for it. I look at it as in the past, it was so common for you to lose a child that they didn't bother to come up with a name for it because everybody would be called that. It's like if everybody was a widow because 50% of your kids died. And so every parent had a child who died. Every single one, basically, like statistically, unless you only had one kid and you got super lucky. But that's not how you did things. Because 50% of kids died, you had a shitload to make sure that enough survived to carry on. So every time I hear somebody, I know that it's tragic and it's very sad to think about. It's horrible. I mean, I don't know what could be worse that could happen to me personally than something happening to my son. But to act like it is such a rare thing for a human being's child to die is ignorant. Sorry, that guy's thing set me off on that tangent. So in that scene in the van, I actually felt scared for the dead girl. Once she realized they were taking her back the way she came, how terrifying that would be. I identified with that feeling. And then the creepiness of her pulling that gun out of her pussy. I saw the suicide coming. And it's just, I don't want to say I'm desensitized. I've never seen anybody shoot themselves in real life like that. But you've seen it quite a few times in movies, and it was decent. No shit, dude. She wasn't a hitchhiker. That's the detail you're missing. You forced her into your fucking car. Places like this don't exist anymore, or at least not where I live. Why'd she light that like a joint? Okay, I think I remember this lady. Was she in the... God damn, Jessica, what are you doing to me? No offense to Mia from Fast and Furious, but Jessica Biel in the leading girl role is like triple the effect. It plays so much, like, it almost distracts you from the actual movie, like Jennifer Love Hewitt and I Know What You Did Last Summer. There's so many scenes where you're just like, God damn, what are you doing right now? It's a fucking meat case full of pig heads and shit that are covered in flies. It looks like it's got mold on the inside. Them early mid-2000s low-rise jeans. God damn. If you didn't shave your pubes back then, you couldn't wear jeans. Look at how far down below her belly button those go. My God. I guess this is set in the 70s, huh? Were low-rise jeans popular in the 70s?
Where'd you say you found her again?
Bend over, we'll show you.
5 miles west.
You guys sell blowjobs here? Because I could sure use one.
Sheriff said he's headed over to the old Crawford Mill.
Sorry, what?
Show as hell was.
To know if you wouldn't mind driving over there to make your report.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
I'm sorry, but how often do girls just blow their heads off in this shit all the time? Like, just calm down.
we only had one girl. She just blew her head off, so not very often.
Sheriff just come out here.
Didn't say.
What about you, ma'am? I already went through the changes in my body. I don't do those kind of things anymore.
Back of our van.
What kind of things? Produce eggs?
What you do is your own business.
Clean your fucking glasses, lady. He's got a shit happens bumper sticker. Oh, you just stepped in a huge pile of dog shit. It happens. What shit? Sometimes. I just want a little bit of a better view of your nipple. I can kind of see it. It's confusing me. Are you wearing a bra or are you not wearing a bra? Are you wearing one of those, like soft cup things, thingamabobs? So it's just disguising your nipple a little bit, and a little bit of support, but not tremendous. Fucking hay. I hate hay. When I was a kid, we lived at the top of a hill, and below the hill was a huge hay field, and I'm allergic to hay. And we had horrible wind that would consistently blow up the hill right at our house. So it was just fucking hay fever every single harvest. I'd wake up and my eyes would be crusted shut. Literally. I would have to sit there and soften it up and then pick it off with my fingers. Sometimes I would just force my eyes open, but it would hurt. It's like, have you ever been sick and woken up and you have like dried snot all on the end of your nostrils? All that just crusty shit is like fucking sludge icicles. And it just peels off and it almost hurts because it's stuck to your skin so much. Like, that's essentially the same thing I had going on with my eyes. Because of the allergy, like this goop would seep out of them at night when they watered, and it would dry up along the the seam in my and stick in my eyelashes. And I'm, yeah, that was no fun. It was kind of like back before I started wearing body jewelry earrings in my ears. I had like the classic hoop ones. I had one where the part that went through your ear was straight, and then it kind of clipped into I don't even know, like a U-shaped receiver on the other side. But it had a little bit of the stud sticking out of the back, and it would stick to certain fabrics and materials. So occasionally I would wake up and my earring would be stuck to the fucking bed. Luckily those would pull off very easily though. If you grabbed the bottom and yanked on them like you were going to try to rip it out of my ear, it would just come out. Which was kind of nice because people wanted to fuck with you when you had earrings when you were younger. At least back then. I got my ear pierced in like 98, and I was heading into the 5th grade. I caught a lot of shit for that for a few years until more of my peers started getting their ears pierced. And it became tired. Like, how many times are you gonna make fun of me about my fucking earring and when I don't care? Oh, that was a good little jump scare.
I swear to God, I just saw something moving there.
Scare me into leaving.
Why don't you fish your dick out and see what it is?
Aaron, come on, quit screwing around.
Oh, she's got balls. You saw something in there? Let's go in there then, motherfucker. Stop being little bitches out here. Are you going to stand out here and wonder if you saw something, or should we confirm or deny that by observation? Those jeans are so low. My God. You really have to be waxed to wear those. I don't know that for sure. I just wanted the image. What do you... The classic shove the boyfriend in the way. Where did he get that big ass wrench? That looks like a nice weapon. He's a big guy too. He can swing that around quickly. No homo. Oh, it's a possum. I see those things out on the road when I'm delivering newspapers all the time. Mainly because I'm in rural areas. The worst, I fucking hit a skunk one night. I don't even know. I didn't run it over with my tire. I tried to straddle it, but I think it hit underneath my car. I know it made a sound, and it reeked like a skunk in there. Luckily, it was raining, and it rinsed a lot of it off. But I thought I was going to throw up for a couple hours in that bitch. It was horrible. It's curious how a faint skunk smell is almost like weed. Back in the day, if I was out of weed or couldn't afford it, whatever, and I would be driving and I would smell a skunk, as long as it was pretty faint, I'd roll the window down and take these deep breaths and act like I was taking hits of weed because it smelled so similar. But if you get just a little stronger than that, it's nauseating. I don't know that you could ever make weed smell so strong that it gets nauseating. Weed's the best smelling thing in the world. Besides pussy. Or your boyfriend's asshole, whatever.
Hey, this is your coffin, all right?
My name is Aaron.
Jedediah. So they found this like feral looking boy.
The sheriff, you know where he is?
He can barely speak. His teeth are all fucked up. But I'm not casting shade, so are mine.
Does he live around here? You know, front row tickets to a big concert.
Can I get all dirty and run around and have Jessica Biel sit down and talk to me like she cares?
Go there. Shit, walk there.
I'll tell you whatever you want to hear as long as she sits next to me more. No, you guys need to stay here, right here. Gonna take a walk outside today. Gonna see what we can find today. Gonna take a walk outside today. Gonna see what we can find today. Oh, the pretty little world is all filled up for a curious cat and a pug-nosed pup. Places to go, places to see. It's all so new and fun for me. Oh, if you don't know, that's the Milo and Otis theme song. I probably butchered it, but that, you get the gist. Ma, I met these pussies who can't even fix a John Deere tractor. Oh, they city folk, huh? Here is the house, which is used in the next one also. Or previous one, next one. I don't fucking know. It was the one that came out after this chronologically, but I don't know storyline wise what we're talking.
I don't know, I can't see you.
This fucking guy, the tow truck driver.
Sheriff don't live here. You can call him if you want to.
Thanks for going.
He was driving the tow truck in the other one that I just watched.
Like people clean the house.
Do you clean the tires on your wheelchair?
Said she could call. You wait outside.
Okay, Chief.
I ain't looking for trouble. Don't shoot.
I wouldn't be a smartass with him. I would get off his porch. Especially out there. He could have quite a story thought up by the time anybody came looking for you. I think part of the thing with Jessica Biel is that she never is trying to be overtly sexual. She doesn't really ever go off into that selling sex overtly realm. She is purely because she's so hot and she's in it. But she's not the flashing titties, flashing ass constantly trying to show out kind of girl. Doesn't seem like.
Is this the sheriff's office?
I think the closest you get is like her in a bathing suit in Summer Catch. Okay, so Arlie Emery is in this. So okay. So a lot of what I saw in the 2006 one is making sense to me now. It's a shame that I thought that was this and conflated the two and mixed up my comings and my goings and zigged when I should have zagged. So you have this movie that just takes place, and then it's a remake of the original, and they decided to go back in time and explain how this guy became the sheriff and how we kind of got here. It wasn't particularly riveting, but I could get, if you were a huge fan of Leatherface in this franchise, where you would want to see it. Let me bounce with me, bounce with me. Oh, God. Oh, that fucking faucet. That made me want to throw up. He's dipping something in the toilet. What do we got going on here? Oh, he's emptying his bag. But what was the faucet? The faucet looked like it had ground up hot dog coming out of it, like blended liquefied hot dog mixed with fry sauce. I don't even want to describe it or think about it anymore. It's strange that watching the girl blow her own head off, I didn't even get the least bit queasy. I was fine. But looking at that disgusting liquid coming out of the fucking faucet made me want to gag. You can shut the fuck up. You're the dumbest queer I ever seen sit between two shoes.
Who's this belong to? She had it on her, son. You don't say. Had it on her.
Your story's not that believable. See, she was leaving there. She had his gun she stole. He probably was gone because he was out looking for her. He's grabbing her ass while she lifts him up. Fucking old perv. Like, who goes to a place like this and is just, like, comfortable hanging out? This one, they're stuck there because they're dealing with the dead body situation. In the next one, they're stuck there because their car is damaged or got towed. I don't remember exactly what happened. In Rob Zombie House of a Thousand Corpses, they're stuck there because they're waiting for their car to get fixed. You probably shouldn't have touched that. Oh, fuck. Leatherface just hit him with a huge mallet in the back of the head. Was there any communication going on amongst the family? Does Leatherface even know why they're there or that they are there? Looked like Mick Foley really let himself go. He's been eating a lot of Subway. Or not eating enough Subway. That's right, because Jared lost weight eating Subway. I forgot. Subway's like Weight Watchers. That lighting, they're hitting the way that her body contours perfectly.
Well, let's get her wrapped up.
What?
Oh, pretty little thing. Give me a hand here.
How's that comfortable on your ears? He's got his fucking ears bent forward.
I need some help. Shit, what am I doing?
Lift her up. Just kind of pull her over your leg there. She ain't gonna bite you. She's dead.
Aren't you guys the least bit curious why he wants to wrap it in saran wrap? Isn't there like an ambulance or a coroner or somebody that you should be calling, dude?
Ah, yeah, there you go.
I know he's not actually the sheriff, but shouldn't they be a little bit more suspicious?
You're goddamn. You know, back when I was a young patrolman, I used to love wrapping up these young honeys. Yeah, I bet you did. It caught me a little bit of a feel every now and then, you know?
Ugh.
Oh, look at that. It's kind of wet down there. What boy's been doing with this dead body, anyway?
Can we please finish this?
That's what she said. Yeah, I'm not into the sexual stuff with the dead bodies. That's an area Rob Zombie goes into as well. Ooh. There's a peephole in the wall. Run. It's the popos, bitch, run. Front kick him in the face and get out of there.
I don't know. But he's not in my house.
Oh, he did get told to stay out of the house. I forgot that part. He came in the house and he got killed for his trouble. At least you got out of there. Stay out of there.
Okay, boys, there you go. Yeah. Let's get her out of there now.
Who's this feral boy? Where did he come from? How come nobody has asked why they're doing this yet? This is not what a cop does with a dead body. What the fuck? I apologize if you just heard my stomach growl.
Don't give me any crap, young lady. God damn it, I got just as much respect for a dead body as anybody around here.
Yeah, sure you do.
Hey! Get that nasty goddamn thing out of the back.
They're wrapping it in they're wrapping it in saran wrap because they eat it.
Don't break my legs. Don't break my stuff. Put the legs.
Yeah, this is standard practice for a dead body. Law enforcement gets taught this procedure.
Find your way out of here, okay? Protect and serve. That's what we do. You did, sir.
I forgot that they had to go meet the sheriff somewhere. They aren't at his house. So she's looking for her boyfriend and she's alone. The other three are with the van dropping off the dead body. Look at them titties bounce. She is wearing a little bit of a bra. She would have to be. Oh, there's just ears on hooks and shit. It's like Dolph Lundgren and Universal Soldier. Is he alive or... I know he smacked him on the head with that mallet, but did he kill him? Petroleum jelly. Mmm. It's just a head laying there. These movies' edge they're trying to push is gore. Just gnarly fucking shit. And that's never really been what I've solicited from horror. I like my mind to be fucked with. I don't like to just look at disgusting shit so much. Maybe that's why I'm not as into these type of movies. Or these, this franchise, I mean. Oh, she found her way back to the van. They're cute ass.
Okay, good news. Sheriff's on his way.
I'm sorry, I keep talking about how cute she is. That's what I'm into. God help me.
Where's Kemper?
Is he with you?
Kemper?
Like, her belt buckle is like 2 inches below or above her vagina. Like, her jeans barely cover the part of her pussy that faces the floor. Like in the back, her butt crack must be a centimeter below her belt. It's a distraction. Oh. They're human teeth.
Somebody's fucking teeth, isn't it?
Just calm down, right?
Aaron, find your goddamn boyfriend. It's time to go.
Now they're stuck there because they can't find the boyfriend. Spectacular. No cell phones. Just hadn't invented it yet. What are you doing? Seriously, you're just reaching into... He's faking. They tipped it with the stupid smirk he had on his face before he reached in there. What the fuck? It's a picture in a jar of water? Who does that? Getting eaten.
They were probably looking for the sheriff. It's mine killer.
You know why the number 88 is better than 69? Because you get 8 twice. Boom.
Where are the keys from there?
Clean your fucking glasses. Nobody cleans their glasses. They all look like they have petroleum jelly smudged all over the front of them.
Want to take off?
Or they just got done eating pepperoni pizza and handling the lenses.
Andy,
I don't know about you guys, but
You seriously need to reconsider the length of your sideburns.
can't leave.
When they start going under your chin, you need to bring them back. Okay, he's dead. Is he gonna bleed him out in the tub? Is that what we're doing? What the fuck just fell out of his pocket? Oh, is it an engagement ring? Bum bum bum. That's not fitting into your fat fucking fingers.
I know Ken's in there.
It's a big ass house to be by itself out in the middle of nowhere. But the shot of the house sitting in that, it seems like it's missing something. It seems kind of empty.
It's me again. I'm really sorry to bother you,
I don't know what it is. It's just something is missing from the view of the outside of the house. At least in the one that comes out in 06, you have the continuity. It's the same house and the same setting. I don't know why they cast the characters to look so fucking similar to these ones, though. Even this blonde guy's haircut.
wow, what a wonderful.
The next one just had like
It's just so
80% of the elements that made this one decent. It was missing 20% of that. So it made it a little less decent, I guess. It wasn't indecent, but it was exposed. Oh, that's just skin hanging up to dry. See, the idea of being captured and killed is scary, but if they want to fucking skin me and eat me and all that shit afterwards, I don't really care. I'm dead. Eesh. Those eyeballs.
Andy?
Hey, you can't just go in my house.
Sure I can. You're not going to stop me.
Are you okay?
I was.
Yeah?
Once. I've never been okay.
What the hell are you doing in my house?
It's the only one around.
Look, we're just looking for our friend. Alright, then we'll be out of here.
You ain't running, big boy. Set your mouth.
That's what I'd like to know about it.
Turd. You're so dead you don't know it.
Oh, brother. Alright, you guys listen to the movie for a second. I'm gonna go take a piss. Of course, he finally comes out with the chainsaw, and that's when I gotta take a piss. This big motherfucker chasing you with a chainsaw wouldn't be the happiest thought in the world. With this franchise, I just don't feel like there's as much to grasp. There's not as much to hold on to, content-wise, and ponder. It seems pretty straightforward, cut and dry. This is what they do. This is how they go about it. This is Leatherface. This is how he acts. And then we just get more of that, and more of that, and more of that. I do want to watch the one with Matthew McConaughey in it, though. That was on HBO all the time back when I was a kid. They're cleaning the brains out of the inside of the van. Did he do something to their van? They don't know he's involved yet. It's brilliant strategy. I don't know if they worked it out that way on purpose, but by having them separated in the two different locations and not having the sheriff associated with Leatherface in that house, when they leave the house, they feel safe with the sheriff in the other location, and then he can in turn bring them back to the house.
You kids taking drugs?
Only bad ones.
I smell bullshit.
Did he say I smell boobs? That's what I heard. I smell boobs. I know he said bullshit, but selective hearing. You shitty bitch. They needed better lines for Lee Emery. He is such a great hard ass, and he delivers. He can cut people down verbally so well. If you watch Full Metal Jacket, that's all he does basically, is just tear Vincent D'Onofrio down until he ends up getting killed for it. So in this, his lines are pretty generic, and they don't give him a lot to work with. Then again, maybe he wanted to play it a little different. Maybe he didn't want as much of that. Maybe he wanted a character that was a little bit off from his previous ones. See, now this would suck. They being alive for it and hanging there wondering what they're going to do to you. But they're not the military. They don't have this shit on lock. I'd have to believe as long as I'm alive, there's a chance I could escape. Ugh, he just breathed in a mouthful of dirt. That reminds me of going to there used to be a heavy metal station here in Portland called KUFO. It hasn't existed for probably at least 10 years now. And they had a yearly concert out on in St. Helens called Rockfest. And it's a day-long festival in this huge field. The later iterations of it had multiple stages. There was a mosh pit I was in. I don't even remember who was playing. It might have been Mudvayne. And the dirt got kicked up in the air so much that I got so much in my mouth that I was hacking shit up and felt horrible for hours. Plus, everything at a rock festival like that is expensive. I think they wanted like $8 for a rock star. So I couldn't just go get myself a quick something to drink. It's an experience going to something like that, though. I saw my first tits in person at a Rockfest concert. There's girls showing their tits, just hanging out. I saw a girl who was shit-faced take off running wearing wet cargo shorts, and they fell down and tripped her. And it was just like, here's my asshole. I saw a girl in overalls take a shit in a field because all the lines for the porta potties were too long. There's pros and cons. One year they had like a little tiny stripper stage next to the music stage, and there's just girls up there showing their tits, and of course one would get more attention than the other, so then that one has to get up and start showing her pussy, and it got out of control. And I was like 17, hanging out all day at this concert. It was good times. I went to like 6 of them in a row. It finally stopped raining. Know why the Indian rain dance always works? 'Cause they never stop dancing till it rains. Every time it rained, she'd say that.
Take the gun and show me.
This just all isn't that interesting because I know where we're going to end up. When I was 17, I would watch something like this just for the oohs and ahs and the, oh man, that's fucked up. But now I need a little bit more to sink my teeth into. And when I know where you're going to end, it's hard for me. Unless I'm deeply invested. Like the remake of Halloween. Plus, when the remake of Halloween came out, I was 19. So it was right in my wheelhouse. When this originally came out, I was in high school. I was a sophomore in high school when this came out. So again, right in my wheelhouse. I'm listening to Slipknot and Disturbed and Rob Zombie and watching movies like this and Devil's Rejects. They all kind of goes together. The issue is where I seem to diverge from people who are fans of things that I'm also a fan of, if that makes sense. So in high school, I loved Slipknot. I have a Slipknot tattoo on my shoulder. Slipknot was my shit for at least the last 2.5 years of high school. And I would listen to Slipknot. I used to have a routine. I had this badass Sony CD player, the kind that screws shut. I don't remember what it's called, but if you had one, you know what I'm talking about. It had a gray handle on the front. You could put your hand in there. Where your thumb rested was right where the thing was just to switch songs. It came with these dope headphones that hooked over your ears. They never fell out. And I'm a little bit antisocial. I never found my clique in high school. I was just kind of floating around, and I got tired of the bullshit at a certain point. I was responsible at a young age. I had a job ever since I was old enough, and I got tired of listening to these stories about these kids just wasting their time, essentially. And I just wasn't into it. So I would listen to my headphones all day, and I would listen to the first Slipknot CD from beginning to end, then the second one from beginning to end, then the third one from beginning to end. Then I'd go to Korn, greatest hits all the way through. Then Drowning Pool, first CD beginning to end, second CD beginning to end. Disturbed. I would just go through this thing and just listen to music all day long. Anyway, I also like going to concerts, but I found that the crowd, the majority of the crowd anyway, that attends a Slipknot concert is not people I want to hang out with. I want to be at the concert, but I don't want to hang out with the other people who want to be. I don't understand why I'm a fan of stuff that doesn't seem to match my identity, if that makes sense. And there's a lot of elements of horror that make up kind of cliche or classic horror that people are really into that I'm not. I'm into horror movies, but I'm into aspects that the majority of people aren't into. I enjoy trying to guess what's going on. Like, I just watched What Lies Beneath a couple weeks ago, and you're trying to piece it together and figure it out. It starts off looking like it's going to be a story about one thing, and it turns into a story about another, and at the end it all comes together. It has a tinge of supernatural to it that I don't usually like, but it works. Michael Myers, the reason Michael Myers is so great is because it's never clearly defined. That you're never going to wrap your arms around it because it's not, the facts aren't there. The evidence isn't there. It's a fictional character. We only have what we're given to go on. And they keep rolling it back and going off on these different storylines. So unless somebody commits the cardinal sin and actually tries to make a movie where they explain in detail what Michael is and where he comes from, we're always going to have that discussion. And we never will be able to settle the argument. So it's this thing that continues in perpetuity. I got on this track because I was talking about this movie where it's just catch the people, put them in fucked up situations, torture them, and the girl escapes. And it doesn't scratch that itch in my brain. It's almost like, do you know what the flow state is? The flow state is where you're doing enough to where you're fully engaged, but not so much that you're getting frustrated. It's almost like certain movies put you in the flow state where your brain is interacting with the content and your thoughts are kind of flowing and maneuvering around, and you're not really even present. You're kind of in the story and looking at it from all these angles. That's kind of what it feels like to me when I'm watching a good movie. I'm immersed in it. And I'm just not feeling that here. I'm immersed in how sexy Jessica Biel is. It's the House of the Rising Sun. There was a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a boy, and God, I'm sure I'm one. Okay, I will. Biggest lesson I can draw from all this is learn how to fight. And be prepared. Have a mace. Have a pocket knife. Have a sturdy flashlight. Know how to throw a good front kick and overhand right. Know how to protect your face. Know how to tuck your head if you fall. Little things. Know how to do a foot stomp. Know how to knee somebody in the nuts. Go ahead and try to take a jiu-jitsu black belt and drag him back into the house. See how much luck that you have with that, especially if you're 30 years his elder. Like these young kids are just being maneuvered about. Now, when the chainsaw comes into effect, but everybody's instinct in these movies tends to be to run instead of try to figure out how to handle the situation. How long are you going to run for? And one thing that really bothers me from a psychological standpoint in horror movies, I get that my way probably wouldn't work because it'd kill the story, but they run until they don't know where the villain is anymore. So you've taken a known and made it an unknown, and the possibilities of danger increase exponentially. I would want to know where that motherfucker is. Keep him at a distance, but don't lose track of him, because now he can pop up behind you. Now he can be over there. You've just increased the angles that he can approach you from exponentially. The best example of that I can think of is Laurie in Halloween 2. When she gets out of the hospital and Michael's chasing her and she knows exactly where he is. And she gets in that car and hides and tucks her head. And then waits a couple beats. And then when she looks up, she has no fucking clue where he is. He could be anywhere. She's lost track of him. So now she has to proceed anywhere she goes with caution. And she's almost paralyzed by that. If you know where they are, you know where you can go. And in most cases, they're human too. They're capable of making mistakes. Pardon me. Oh, this lady. She gets wedged underneath a table in front of the door. They use her to barricade the door in the next movie. Oh, I started selling t-shirts on Amazon. I have my first one up. It's just the Avarice logo. Once I have that all squared away, I'll put the link in my Instagram, which is @Avarice Podcast. And I'll also try to remember to throw the link in the comments of this video. I need to put up another design, and I can't think of one. I wanted to go with my knife stand or knife block on the nightstand idea, or maybe chasing with a chainsaw. But I just don't know how to lay it out, and I just need to start pumping out the ideas. Perfection is the enemy of profitability, especially in this circumstance, because with the Amazon platform, there's no standing inventory, so it doesn't cost you anything more to have another design. It's not going to get made until it's ordered. So there's literally no cost to doing a design that isn't particularly successful other than the time lost. The only risk really is the time. If you guys don't know, if it's just the first time you're listening, if you haven't heard another podcast or YouTube video, I do newspaper delivery 4 days a week. I'm kind of a G at it, so I'm able to earn a better living doing it than most people would doing the same thing. I do reselling basically every day. I take it light on the weekends when my family's home because I don't want to just bog myself down with work and ignore them entirely. And that includes going to thrift stores and finding stuff that is underpriced and selling it on eBay, Poshmark, Amazon, etc. And then now I also am doing the t-shirt thing. And then I have my podcast and my YouTube channel. I basically look at it like in the past you kind of had to pick a path. You had to pick a career. You had to pick a place to work. And you were kind of locked down there. They were occupying most of your life. You were trapped there for 8 hours a day. When you went home, it wasn't necessarily easy to look for other things to do, to pursue any hobbies or passions. Want ads was how you found a job. You were just limited in your opportunities, especially based off your location. Now we have the internet, and it's an abundance of opportunities. There is a shitload of different things you can do, and it's almost hard to pick where you're going to spend your time. Instead of being almost forced to spend your time on a given thing like we were before, now you're kind of forced to pick. I guess that's basically the same thing. But you had so few more options. You can just drown yourself in options of things to do and pursue now. But I look at it like fishing poles, like fishing lures. Every little project I work on is another lure I'm dropping in. And I'm gonna get bites eventually. And the more lures I have out, the more possibilities I have for bites, and the more opportunity I have to see what's working. They're all different lures, all looking for different fish. It's all... The internet is just a plethora of opportunity, and I feel like I would be a fool if I didn't try to pursue all these different avenues. And just... I am very cognizant of the future being... Change is inevitable. We have no idea what the future holds. We have no idea where shit's going to go with AI, automation, Bitcoin, all this shit. And it's super important to me to have security financially going into the future. Try to build something that's generational, that sets my son up where he can just kind of move into it and live a life different from anything I've ever recognized, where he's just making his money work for him and pursuing his passions 100% of the time. That's what I'm shooting for. So I'm going to try any fucking thing that I can to get there, using every minute of every day.
Does anybody care about me and my boy?
She's the mom. No, she's not the mom. We find out in the next one that they found him in a dumpster.
Look, you know, she likes me.
The other unique thing about today is when it comes to something like a podcast, a review channel, any certain niched out thing, there's so many more of them that they reach a smaller portion of people generally, but those people are much more loyal. It's a different thing. There will never be another Elvis Presley. At least I don't think, because he was a lack of options. He was the best thing going, and there was no internet with millions of new people uploading songs every day for nothing just because they're trying to get exposure. And you didn't have a chance to really find where your taste lied. You just got fed what was on the radio, and Elvis was the most appealing thing when they didn't have a lot of options and exposure. So he blew up, and a vast percentage of the population loved Elvis. Now, a modicum of that percentage would attach themselves to him, and all these other people would splinter off into smaller groups and go after their interest. She just found the blonde guy down in the basement. He almost looks crucified. She's getting all wet. See, again, I don't know if it's up to her or not, but she's wearing a bra under there, and she's got this white tank top. So she's got this scene where her shirt's all wet. You would basically just be able to straight up see her tits if she didn't have that bra thing under there. And I feel like goes along with what I was describing earlier, where she's not so overt with trying to sell the sexy factor. She's just her being a cute girl doing things, but she's not gonna go out of her way to try to sell it more. Oh, he's got that hook through his back. There's no way she's gonna lift him out of there. It's probably doing more damage than... God damn it. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Stop trying. She's just lifting him up and then dropping him back down on it. Oh, God. Damn. That's not scary, but it makes you cringe because of how bad it would hurt. A lot of stuff gets lumped into the category of scary or horror. Not much of it is authentically scary. There's creepy, there's gory, there's cringeworthy because of like the pain factor. There's all these different segments that make up quote unquote horror. But the majority of it isn't authentically scary, I wouldn't say. Shit, this is that moment. I have a moment like this coming down the road. I have a dog that is like 8 or 9 now, and almost daily I think about how she's not going to live forever and I'm going to have to put her down one day, and that's going to be so fucking hard. She's not my first dog, she's not my only dog, but I got her when I was in my early 20s, and I've had her through my kind of maturing process into us becoming a family, having the kid, getting a house, me becoming a real adult, finding myself. Like, she's been here through all that, so it's gonna be like a major piece is missing when she does go, and I'm mind fucking myself with it, because thinking about having to go through that process puts my mind in the state, or in that same place, like I'm going through it. So I start to feel sad and depressed, like I'm having to deal with it today. And I could be ruining the next 4 or 5 years instead of just fucking forgetting about it until I have to deal with that and enjoying the fact that it's not here today. As Ben Wilder says, worrying's like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. Write that down. He's got a hook hole in his back, too. Everybody's getting hooked in the back. Maybe he's just got a stab in his back. That's fucked up, because it could mess up your spine, and then being paralyzed in that situation, completely helpless. No, thank you. I'm good with that. In What Lies Beneath, there's a good moment like that, because Harrison Ford is a doctor, and he's got this shit that paralyzes people for operations, but they're still awake. They just can't move. And he gives it to Michelle Pfeiffer and then puts her in the bathtub and just starts filling it up with water, and she can't move, and she just has to slowly watch it rise up to her nose and cover her nostrils, and she's paralyzed. That is scary. But it's not scary like I'm sitting here scared in my seat right now. It's scary like if I put myself in her position, I would be scared. And that doesn't hit home with me the same way. Stuff that makes me scared in my seat that I'm sitting in right now. Stuff that actually hits me. That's what I dig. Like when I was watching and recording commentaries on all the Halloween movies and all of the Scream movies, you know, the entire franchises, and I was just balls deep in slasher movies every fucking day for a while. I was paranoid when I would go to bed. In our bathroom, in our master, the vanity in the sink is when you're standing there brushing your teeth, the walk-in closet is directly behind you. So I'm sitting there brushing my teeth, and I keep looking up in the closet, and then we sleep with our bedroom door open because our son's just down the hallway, and it's just kind of what we like. And as I'm sitting there falling asleep, I will, probably a dozen times, I would lift my head up and look down the hallway to see if somebody was standing there. Lift my head up, look down the hallway to see if somebody was standing there. That's when something is scary. When I am the strangers. Try to walk out in your backyard and smoke a cigarette in the dark after watching The Strangers. But I'm not worried that I'm gonna go outside and get captured and brought to the Leatherface house. I guess that's why the supernatural ones don't really hit with me either, because I don't buy it. I don't believe in ghosts and shit like that. I just don't. It doesn't make sense to me. I guess the theory is that they're somehow trapped between here and an afterlife. So is that why there was a limited amount? Because if you're talking everybody who's ever lived ever, it would just be a sardine can of spirits everywhere you went. There's been a lot of fucking people that have died. Also, what doesn't make sense to me about like the concept of heaven or anything like that. How many people are there? That's a lot of fucking... It's just everybody who's gone to heaven throughout the entire course of humanity. Fucking hey, that's a lot of people. And I get that this isn't supernatural. I'm not proclaiming it to be. This is a scary on the first introduction, cool to watch after that, gets tired fairly quickly concept. This is really similar to Michael looking for Laurie in Rob Zombie's remake of Halloween 1. The house even looks very similar. When Michael's bashing the ceiling in with the 4x4 and shit. And Leatherface doesn't quite have that that mystique, that intangible, charismatic, if you will, factor that draws you to him the way a Michael, a Freddy, a Jason do. I could be wrong. Maybe there's people out there that are just fucking head over heels for Leatherface. I feel like I see it less. It's definitely much less common than the other three I just mentioned. I wonder how many people like Leatherface compared to Chucky. If you took a poll. Get that thing away from my face. Those open hand arm slaps aren't going to do shit. You got to learn how to put your body into something. Wrestling drop kick his ass in the back. Oh, I thought he stabbed him through that. He just hung his arms up. Is he going to cut him clean in half? Up the middle? They didn't even really show it or give you a clear idea what happened. I think he shoved the chainsaw between his legs and cut him up the dick, like hot dog style, as they would tell you in elementary school. I wonder if that was something that they had more filmed and cut it back to get their rating. It seems like a film or a scene that they shot much more detailed. Did he just cut his own fingers? He looks pretty cartoon character-ish too. Who's this going to be? This is probably not going to be the person you want to talk to. I will help you. What do you need help with? Stay bent over the hood. Go back to the hood. Go back and bend over the hood. I'm kind of on board with this lady. You just can't risk picking somebody up like this. Why make one casualty too? Oh, brother. Meat packing plant's probably not the place to go. Wait, isn't this place closed in the next movie? Which is supposed to take place before this movie? Now I'm confused. This looks a lot like Rob Zombie's movie too. The fucking baby running out of the house getting chased by the sheriff. Just that outdoor sequence, not this now. Thanks, Officer Fuckmeat. No, thank you. You're running through the room of murder tools. Unless you're gonna pick one up and use it, get the fuck out of there. Yeah, a walk-in's probably the safest place to go. Then again, most walk-ins that I've seen have back doors so that you can load up trucks or unload trucks. Is Rocky in here? Yeah, Rocky Balboa. Take it easy, you break the ribs. That's kind of gross. But I'd be able to separate myself from it. If I eat hamburgers, I should be able to stand there and look at those. Don't get hit by one of those, that'll knock you out cold. You didn't see him start to move? Come on, man. Ooh! He slashed down towards her pussy with the chainsaw, and they didn't give you a shot of it hitting the ground between her legs. Some of this chainsaw shit, the cut that's supposed to be the payoff of, isn't there. Like, just there, when he swings at her and she's laying on the ground and he clearly hits down between her legs. Why don't we get a shot of the chainsaw hitting the floor? And then the guy that he's sawing in half from the dick up. Why don't we get a shot of the chainsaw in the dude at all? Or the aftermath or anything? I guess budget. That's probably why he didn't just saw him in half, hamburger style. Does she have a butcher knife? Does she have something in her hand? I can't tell. And seeing this scene makes you feel like the ending of the next movie is super redundant. Okay, so she wants him to find her. What if he just slams that chainsaw into those lockers? What are you gonna do then? He's just gonna start cutting lockers in half. This guy wearing a suit or something? Because the proportions on his body seem fucked up. His shoulders are huge. She does have a cleaver. I don't know if a cleaver is the best. It looks intimidating, but it's like a chopping thing. What, are you just gonna hit him square in the back with it? Like, it's gonna be hard to stab or slice with that. He's great at starting chainsaws, though. Yeah, see, you gotta hack at him like that instead of doing a slice or a stab. What? That was pretty fucking cheesy. He stood there and let her hit him in the arm to the point that she cut his arm completely off. She severed his arm. That's not how the original one ends at all, is it? I don't care enough to go back and watch it. I think I've seen it once. It doesn't resonate as easily as like a Halloween or something does. It doesn't hit at your core as quickly and as efficiently. I remember starting to watch it and it's just a lot of dialogue and you have to kind of pay attention, and I was a kid and I was like, okay, I'm fucking done with this, and I never gave it a chance again. It just didn't grab me by the gonads the way that I wanted it to. Ass, gas, or grass, no one rides for free. You gotta follow the rules of the road. Just ask George Carlin. Not yet. Look at the road, motherfucker. I got my teeth pulled. Candy cane. Candy cane. Candy cane, come on. Now she is the girl that they picked up at the beginning, and she's freaking out because they're going the wrong way. She's gonna make this motherfucker crash. He's brought her right back to the same gas station, and the sheriff is there. And I doubt she knows how to drive a big rig. Fuck it, you gotta try. Yeah, get out of the car. You'll be safer out in the open. Oh, she's keeping an eye on the ongoings. That's smart. I can dig that. Junior? Who's senior if he's junior? You're gonna fog up the glass, sweetheart. Get the fuck out of there. So the story that they go with in the next movie is that Lee Emery killed the sheriff and just took his shit. And now he's the sheriff. Nobody ever came looking. They're not wondering why the other dude hasn't cashed a check. Like, there's no meetings or anything that they need to go to. Trade shows for cops. Did Jessica Biel steal their baby? A dingo ate my baby! How does everyone in a movie know how to hotwire a car? I don't have the slightest fucking clue. I should probably look that up. Be a useful skill to have. I'm not trying to steal cars, but if it's a matter of life or death, any port in a storm. What is it? She's trying to hotwire the cop car, right? There's no way she's trying to hotwire this. He left his keys in it, I'm pretty sure. It's running. They're trying to make it seem like she's in there, but I didn't think that at all. Yeah. It's the cop car. Damn. She smacked my bitch up. Smack my bitch up. Oh. I don't think that's gonna be successful, dude. He's just shooting at the back of the car. Like, even if you shot out the tires, she's still gonna run your ass over. Okay, I think that's enough. You're gonna risk fucking up the car now. Just testing the rear end for stress factors. Man, this is a nice pen, man. Okay, now you're driving the quote stolen sheriff vehicle. You took the baby? Well, he or she, I don't. Oh, fuck. Is he deformed under the mask?
This is August 20th, 1973. Location is the Hewitt residence. We're going to go move into the actual...
I got too mired in trying to figure out what the gender of the baby was, and it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is the baby probably hadn't been exposed to anything psychologically damaging it to that point. It appeared to be kind of separated from that.
This is the actual furnace room going into where they expected to trade it.
This is recreation footage, right? There's no way footage from back then would look this good. They took clean footage from current day and tried to fuck it up and make it look old.
The crime scene was not properly secured by Travis County Police.
That actually looks old.
Fatally wounded that day. This is the only known image of Thomas Hewitt, the man they call Leatherface. The case today still remains open.
Huh. There you have it. So that was the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2003. And maybe I shouldn't have decided to go ahead and do the... The unfortunate part is that I did the other one first because I was confused about... I didn't know the other one existed. I thought that the 2006 Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie was the remake of the original. I didn't realize that there was two. I didn't realize there was this one and that one. So then, having watched that one first, been kind of jaded by the whole layout formula of that, shitting on it quite a bit, and then trying to go back and watch this with a fresh set of eyes didn't work out so well. And the other one kind of stepped on this one's dick, even though this one was made chronologically first. I wish that Netflix hadn't have made them available out of order, because I would have much rather watched this one first. Probably would have had a little bit more respect for it and paid a bit more attention. And then if I'd done the next one, I would have understood it more and had a little bit more fodder for the canon when it came to talking shit. So... what are you gonna do? It's regrettable. Maybe I should Google some of these franchises before I start getting into them. What do you say? And actually, when I did the other one, I was just playing Netflix roulette. I just went into horror in Netflix and found something recognizable to watch. So, live by the sword, die by the sword. I appreciate you guys sticking through this commentary, even though it was very loosely related to the film. That happens sometimes. Those are usually the ones that I feel like are the most solid products that I'm putting out, are the ones where I don't talk so closely about the film, especially when I don't have anything that interesting to say or that much to add to it, I'll let myself go off course because the content's got to be made regardless. You understand? This is a hustle here, bitch, and we never quit. We never quit. I don't know what that voice was. Please like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends, all that good shit. Until the next time, this is Devin signing off and saying, be easy.